Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video. So as it's coming up to Christmas, I thought this would be a really good time to do one on giving presents and how we can kind of be more aware of the gifts we're giving, the environmental impact of them, and how to basically, I guess, have a more environmentally friendly and ethical Christmas maybe, or not even just Christmas, just gift giving in general, just kind of some tips to take on board that I use during the festive season or all year round really on reducing my waste and not kind of buying unnecessary things. So I always used to participate in Christmas. I still do, but it always kind of I did used to just go and buy things off the shelf, like plastic things for my siblings and just things that they kind of wanted, but I guess a lot of things for people they don't necessarily need, which I think is something that is seen a lot with the Christmas season. It's big consumerism kind of time of year where people are just going and buying things that they don't necessarily need, that are damaging to the environment and kind of a waste of money as well, I guess. But as I've got older, and especially the last kind of 2 years since going vegan and becoming more aware of my impact on the environment, I've kind of taken some measures to reduce that basically. Because I still celebrate Christmas, I have younger siblings in my family. I have a little brother who's 6 and I have a 14-year-old and 17-year-old in my family, and it still, brings me great joy to give them gifts and give them presents. So it's something that I still like to do and something I still like to celebrate, but now for me it's more kind of a celebration of being thankful for having those people in my lives and giving them gifts to show my appreciation that I have them around basically. So one thing you can do instead of buying someone a physical gift is you can take them for a day out. So what you can do is on Christmas, their birthday, whenever you want to present this, you can make a homemade voucher that says that you're going to take them to wherever to do kind of whatever activity it is. So you could take them to a park that they really like for a picnic. You could take them to the cinema to see a movie that they'd like to see. You could take them out for a meal. For me, something that I'm going to give to 2 of my family members this year is I will give them ones so that basically to say that I'm going to take them to London to visit a museum of their choice, instead of giving someone a physical gift that they might eventually throw in the bin or they don't necessarily need. It'll be really nice for both of you to kind of build those memories and those happy times together and have some fun with that person. So that's one thing you can do. Something else to consider is when you're buying for younger children. So I have, as mentioned, a 6-year-old brother. I used to buy him what my mum would refer to as plastic crap. And that is literally what it is. I would go to the shop and I'd find, I don't know, the biggest plastic thing that I could possibly find that I could wrap up and give to him, because just to see his little face when he opened it basically. Children kind of grow out of toys quite quickly, especially when they're at a young age. So definitely being more thoughtful when we're buying for younger children. So this year when I was looking for gifts for him, because I still want to buy him presents because I don't feel he's not quite at that age yet where I can take him for days out. As a Christmas present, I don't feel like he'll quite understand that just yet. So I was looking online, and basically there are quite a few sites where you can buy wooden toys, which is environmentally better than buying plastic basically. We can plant more trees, but plastic will be here forever. So that's one thing we can do. The second thing is you can have a look online, and there are actually toy companies that make toys from recycled plastic, and all the packaging is from recycled cardboard, so that is an option. I can't remember the name of it, but on Environmental Superstore there is a brand of toys that they make all of their plastic toys from recycled plastic, and they don't have anything that takes batteries because they want children to use their imagination, which I think is something that's quite nice as well. So that obviously is an option as well, is looking for toy companies that produce environmentally friendly toys. Another option is to buy books, because books are educational, so they're really good to read to children no matter what age. The only thing when it comes to books, something that I recently have been thinking about quite a bit is when I was a child. I wouldn't necessarily say it's affected me much as an adult, but when I was a child I would read a lot of books where it's kind of the typical, it's a princess and she has to be saved by a prince. And I don't feel like this is something that we should be teaching our children, that they have to rely on someone else, especially young girls. We don't want to be teaching them that they have to rely on to have a prince in their life to come and save them. So I guess for me, when I'm going to be buying some books for my little brother, and I just want to be really conscious of what kind of books I'm buying him. and are they really educational to him, and are they sending the right message? So for me, I would probably buy him books on animals because he really likes animals, or I might buy him one on trucks because he really likes those. But there are also books, and I think they're called Big Dreams, Little People, and you can get them from Waterstones and you can get them online, and they're really great books. They're kind of my friend found them actually and told me about them, and they're great, and they have different books based on different figures in history and what they've achieved. So they have one on Anne Frank, they have one on Audrey Hepburn, and they have one on Marie Curie, and they have lots of other different ones as well on different role models and people through history that have achieved different things or have accomplished things or have gone through different struggles as well. So something else you can do is you can actually hand make gifts, and this is a really nice idea. One year I was particularly skint. I'm not normally very well off at Christmas or any time of the year, in fact, so Christmas is always a bit of a struggle, and one year it was really hard, and I handmade all my gifts for all my family. I kid you not, I knitted 14 scarves that year. But you can actually hand make gifts, and when you have a look online, the amount of different things that you can hand make, and what I really like about this, it's a really personal gift. So like, you've put the time and the effort into making something that is unique and individual to give to that person. So just some ideas are, I basically made like small food hampers for my grandparents. So I basically got these like little salt shakers, and then what I did was you can put like mixes of herbs and spices, and then you can write on it. So you could be like, this is a spicy mix, this is a Cajun wedgie mix or whatever for, you know, potatoes. You can hand make peanut butter, do handmade peanut butter really, really easy by roasting peanuts and blending them, which you can then put in jars, or you could do like almond butter or something. And you can also do kind of like little hot chocolate packets, so you can get little jars. For this I actually collected jam jars from people and made a lot of these and put them in old jam jars as well. You can put like a mix in it to make like 12 cupcakes or something, so that someone only has to add like the bicarb and the oil to it, obviously for vegan cupcakes, or bicarb, baking powder, I can't remember which, but yeah, anyway, you can put a cake mix in them. You can make a hot chocolate mix, so you can put like a bit of sugar, hot chocolate powder and some vegan marshmallows into a jar, so they can do a few spoonfuls to make a hot chocolate. So just some ideas for kind of making food gift hampers. Another one as well was I brought loads of really cheap chocolate, and if you melt it, you can lay it out as one really big bar, and then you can put like fruit and nut in the top of it, and then you can wrap them up, and kind of you can actually just give that as a gift to someone, because they like, I made them so they were the size of like a baking tray, but they didn't cost much at all compared to a shop bought piece of chocolate that size, and they looked really cool, especially if you do like a dark chocolate and then you run kind of like a vegan milk chocolate through it. You can hand make pillows. I did handmade notebooks last year. I even made a set of 3 boxes from playing cards, because you can fold playing cards in a certain way to make little panels that you can interlink, and I made a set of 3 boxes that fitted into each other from the card game Magic the Gathering that for my brother. So there are loads of ideas out there for doing handmade gifts, and this year I would definitely be making some more handmade gifts. It's just a really nice personal idea. So that is definitely on kind of my top list of things you can do for someone for Christmas. So now if I'm going to actually buy something for someone, so if I'm actually going to think I am actually going to physically buy this person something, because for whatever reason, perhaps there's nothing I really want to hand make for them, there's nothing I can really think of going and doing on a day out with them, perhaps we already do a lot of days out, then this year my goal is to try and buy Christmas presents from as many small businesses as possible. Instead of supporting big corporations, I want to support small independent people and small independent businesses. So one thing I use a lot is Etsy. So they're basically, I have an Etsy shop, as some of you may know, and independent people can have their own little online shop on Etsy. So that is something that is a really nice idea as well. Yeah, just searching through online shops like that. On Etsy, I actually found a really nice, for my little brother, a wooden paint your own pirate ship. So I really liked that because, for one, I'm supporting an independent business. For 2, it's made from wood, not plastic. And 3, it actually teaches him a skill as well. It will teach him a creative skill, and it's something that I can do with him as well, which is nice. So the final thing I feel is, obviously, if people ask you what you'd like for Christmas. So my family, I have a couple of people who will ask me what I'd like, and my boyfriend does as well. And I think it's perfectly acceptable to ask people to put towards some money towards, or buy you something that you generally need in your life. If you are a little bit short of cash and there is something that you really need in your life, I definitely think it's perfectly acceptable to ask for those things as a Christmas present. I don't think there's any shame in that. But if there isn't anything that you particularly need, then what you can do is what I've asked my boyfriend for this year, because he came to me and he was like, oh, what makeup would you like for Christmas? Because this is the normal thing, is I absolutely love makeup. And I basically turned around and said, well, actually, no, I don't need that. What I would like instead is I've asked him to either donate to a charity on my behalf, or if he does really want to give me a gift, because we're spending it with my friends this year, and kind of like everyone's going to be giving each other gifts and stuff, and kind of it is really nice to give someone something. So if he does want to get me anything, I would rather him purchase gifts that will benefit someone else. So not just something that will benefit me, something that I will need, even if it's not something I need now, but I will do, that will benefit someone else. So for an example, be like a t-shirt or a hoodie from like a sanctuary, or like a group, an animal rights activist group, that by him buying, not only will it be something that I will need, because we all need clothes, it will benefit that group that he's brought it from as well. So that's what I've asked for, which is something that you can kind of do as well. One thing I totally forgot, wrapping paper and cards. So we throw away a horrific amount of wrapping paper every single year. It's something like, it could stretch to the moon and back, basically, the wrapping paper that is thrown away. So for the last 2 years, I have not brought a single piece of wrapping paper or a single card. I have explained to all my family why I do not buy Christmas cards anymore. I have asked them in return to not give me Christmas cards. They don't quite understand this concept. Even just me not buying them obviously reduces that waste. So I don't buy Christmas cards for them, and they understand why I don't buy them. Instead of using gift wrap, haven't bought any for 2 years now. So instead what I do, often family and friends can't quite wrap their head around this concept sometimes. So they tend to still, if they get me gifts, it tends to still be wrapped or in a bag. So I actually keep that. I keep what wrapping paper I can, I keep what bags I can, and I reuse them. Another thing I've done as well is I've made my own wrapping paper sheets, and that's what I'll be doing this year. Is I've kept some old Vegan Life magazines, and basically if you colour match your pages, so you can choose like 8 pages of white with just writing, and you sellotape them together neatly, you can make your own wrapping paper, and it looks really cool actually. So things like that. Or if you're making a hamper, you can get a box of like buying gift bags and things, like go to your local supermarket and see if they've got any spare boxes that you can essentially kind of like paper mache, but like without the glue, with some sellotape, some like pages round, keep tissue paper and things. If I have things delivered to me in the post and they're delivered in a box, I keep it. If it's got that kind of that weird crinkly cardboard, I keep it. If things have ribbons on them or little ties or bows, I keep them. Basically have half a drawer in my room filled with these things, so that I do not have to buy any wrapping paper, which also saves me money, which I like. So as always, I hope this video has been useful to you, and I hope I haven't waffled on like I normally do. But if you do like my videos, please hit subscribe and give me a like. Any questions about anything I've talked about on here, then please just like drop me a comment and I'll reply. So until next time, see ya.